Bula Vinaka, everyone. That is a greeting from my country. I'm from Fiji. My name is Vivina Momoka. I love to be called V. The reason being is when my father calls my name Vivina, that means I'm in trouble. So V is fine with me. Thank you. So I will do a little bit of something different this morning. Before we begin, we'll bring a little bit of a Pacific vibe into this room. So please can you stand with me and join me with this. If you don't know how to do the hula, that's okay, because I don't know how to do the hula anyway. So okay, so we are ready with our music. So if you can just listen to my instruction, and then we just follow. Take a seat. All right. Who enjoys that? All right. Okay. Firstly, thank you again to Creative Team, Toowoomba, for inviting me and to be here today. I'm really honored to be here. And also on behalf of Pacific Island Council of Queensland, our president wouldn't be here today because she's got another event to attend, but we just wanted to say thank you. When Caitlin first contacted me about speaking on this theme, palm, I smiled. Not only because I work with the Pacific Australian Labour Mobility Scheme, commonly known as the PALM scheme, if anyone knows about the PALM scheme, formerly known as the seasonal workers that are here in Queensland. In Queensland alone, we have 13 plus thousand workers that are working in Queensland alone. Yeah, because of that simple word palm, when she mentioned about the palm, it carries so much meaning to us. When we think about the palm tree, like they've already mentioned that this morning, we often picture something strong and resilient. It bends in strong winds, but rarely breaks. It provides shades, shelter, food, and beauty. Most importantly, what we see above the ground is only possible because of what exists beneath It's deep roots. Today I would like to talk about the roots that shapes us, the people who invest in us, the community that helps us grow, and how connection gives us the strength to keep going when life becomes difficult. I was born in Auckland when my parents were in Hamilton studying in the university. I was born there, and then we went back because of my parents who was working in the government, and I'm raised in Fiji until my teenager years. Then I believe my parents think, oh, better life, you go back to New Zealand. Well, I still have the passport, so we moved back to New Zealand, and like many Pacific Islanders, I grew up in a culture where community wasn't something you joined. It's simple, who you were, who you were. You belonged to your family, you belonged to your village, you belonged to your church, you belonged to your neighbors. Life wasn't centered around me. It was centered around us, we. If someone was struggling, everyone helped us, everyone knows. If there is a celebration, everyone contributed. If someone succeeded, the whole community celebrate. It will go on for the whole week. Looking back now, I realize what a gift that was, because those early experiences taught me that life was never meant to be lived alone. Those lessons became the roots that guided me throughout my life, even when I didn't realize it at that time. Several years ago, my understanding of resilience was tested. I was diagnosed with cancer. Like many people facing a serious illness, I experienced fear, uncertainty, and moments where I wondered what the future would hold. Cancer teaches me many things. It teaches me how fragile life can be. It teaches you, what truly matters, what it teaches you who show up when times are hard. What helps me through wasn't simple medical treatment. It wasn't because I exceptionally strong. It was because I was surrounded by people, by family, by friends, by colleagues, by faith communities, or people who prayed for me, people who checked on me, people who sat beside me when there was no perfect words to say. That experience changed me. It taught me the resilience isn't about carrying everything alone. Resilience is built through connection. It grows in community. The strongest person I know are not those who never need help. They are the people who allows others to work beside them when life gets difficult. Today I work as a Queensland Regional Coordinator for Community Connection under the PALM scheme. So my role takes me across Queensland, from Bundaberg to Emerald, from Lockyer Valley to Rockhampton, from Darling Downs to the far northwest. I meet people who travel thousands of kilometers from countries like Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Nauru, Papua New Guinea, and Timorese. And we are fortunate enough here in Queensland, we have the 11th one, which is Vietnam. We have the cohorts in here. These workers that they left their spouses, their children, their parents, anti-support unit, everything familiar, not because they wanted an adventure, but because they wanted to build a better future for people they love. And every worker has a story. And this is one thing I love about my job, is I sit with them and I listen to their journeys, and it's incredible. You know, everyone have a different journey or different stories to tell, and the workers are the ones that have a lot of stories of sacrifices, of hope, or stories of determination, stories of incredible courage. What resilient really means. Resilient, yeah. People often assume resilient means being tough, never crying, never struggling, never needing support. But the workers I meet reminds me resilient looks very different. Resilient is getting up early in the morning and showing up to work while missing your family. Resilient is adapting to a new culture, learning new system, building a life, a place where you know no one. Resilient is making sacrifices today so your children can have opportunities tomorrow. That's courage, that's strength, and yet even the most resilient people, a person needs connection because nobody thrives in isolations. One of the greatest privilege in my role is seeing community coming together. Just like this morning, I enjoyed this. It's different. What I used to do is connecting with the diaspora community and the employers and services, but this morning is totally different, which is I'm really grateful for the team to invite me. And sometimes we think creating belonging requires large programs or expensive initiative, but often the most powerful moments are surprisingly simple. A local supporting club. This is one thing I love. When I'm going to regions, the sporting clubs, they inviting workers to join them. A church offering friendship and support. A neighborhood saying hello, and employers taking time to ask, how are you really going? And those simple words, that means a lot to everyone. I mean, not only our workers, but individual. A community event where people share foods, their stories, storytelling, laughter, and culture. You'll see the Pacific people. If we have a little table where we share just one loaf of bread, you will see a lot of laughter, just laughing with silly jokes. But everyone is content and everyone is well fed, you know. You go back home, you're full, just one loaf of bread. And that is for us, that's community for us. And one thing about the working with the community, it's the community events when people, you know, when this moment seems small, but they're great, create something powerful. They tell someone you matter, you are welcome, you belong. And for someone who is far from home, those words can change everything to them. I've learned in that community, the community isn't defined by geography. It defines by belonging. Community happens when people feel seen, when people feel valued, when people feel safe enough to themselves. I remember when I was working in Stanthorpe, I heard one of the community members said, we've seen a lot of brown people walking around at night and they are standing outside of the shop, and that's normal to us. Back in our islands, you're standing right in front of the shop, that is normal. That's a normal conversation. It doesn't mean that we will be, you know, stealing something from the shop, no. And that is normal to us. And that's one thing that I do as a community connection, is try to come up with an event so then I can present it to the community. This is them, this is what we do. And if you see them scrolling on the street, don't mind them, they're just doing their own thing. Well, that's what we do. We finish eating, we'll walk, you know, take a long walk. Yeah, but it doesn't look, you know, I do the long walk, it doesn't work for me, so. So yeah, so that's what the community is about. So, and the beautiful thing is that every single person in this room, has the ability to create that safe space. You don't need a title, you don't need a program, you don't need a funding, you simply need the willingness to care. Because belonging begins with a small act, a conversation, a smile. And a joke back at home, when you smile, that means, oh, she doesn't know how to speak English, she just smiles around. So an invitation, a genuine interest in someone's story, learning from one another. Queensland is becoming increasingly diverse. Every year we welcome people from different culture, backgrounds and experiences. That is just like our palm workers. They come in every month, so we welcome them with that. And I believe that's one of the greatest strengths. The more people I meet, the more convinced I become that we have far more in common than what separates us. Every culture has wisdom. Every person has a story worth hearing. Every community has something valued to contribute. Growth happens when we move beyond assumption and become curious. When we ask questions, when we listen, when we learn, and when we are willing to see the world through someone else's eyes. As I reflect on today's theme, I kept returning back to this image, the palm tree. Palm tree grows steadily, not instantly. They withstand storms because they are deeply rooted. They often grow in community, not in isolation. I think people are much the same. Strong roots matter, relationship matters, community matters, and growth takes time. The stronger communities are built on one relationship at a time, one conversation at a time, and one act of kindness at a time. So I do ask you, this is the challenge. So as you leave here today, I'd like to offer a simple challenge this week or this weekend. Be curious about someone's story. Introduce yourself to someone new. Invite someone to join you. Check in on someone who may be struggling. Create that space for someone to belong, because you never know what someone else is carrying. As you never know how powerful, and you never know how powerful a small act of kindness might become. Just like a palm tree provides shades, it provides shelter for others, we too can create space where people feel safe, they feel valued and connected. And when you do that, something remarkable happens. We all grow together, as a community. So my journey through cancer taught me the resilient is to build through connection. My work with palm workers reminds me every day that belonging changes life. And my Pacific heritage continues to teach me that success is never an individual achievement. It is always the result of people walking alongside us. So thank you again for being here this morning, and sorry for waking up early in the morning. I left Brisbane at 5 o'clock this morning, but I love the drive. Thank you again for investing in your community, and thank you for being part of the roots that help us grow. Pinaka Vakalevu.